Welcome to the exciting and new podcast. This is a mini, and I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Brian.
And I'm Kevin.
Kevin, all the way from
Canada, eh? Hey, Kevin, were you able to see Brian counting up there?
I could not. Did it look that different? Was it thrilling? Was it everything you hoped it would be?
It's really interesting.
Who can you can see me and Jason? Is that it?
I can see Jason. I can see half of Andy.
Oh, okay.
I can't see Brian anymore.
Oh, you can only see half of Andy?
Yeah.
I'm a very large guy. Half is enough.
All right, what did everybody watch this week?
Kevin, what do you got, man?
All right, I'll start with something uniquely Canadian, something called The Billionaire Murders. I have no idea if it's being broadcast in the States or if it will be.
Is it a documentary?
It is. It's a true crime documentary. We're about a few years away from when the billionaire founder of a pharmaceutical company, Barry Sherman, and his wife were found by their pool in their house with their hands tied behind them, posed in a sitting position with ligatures around their necks, dead as doornails. And it's been like 3 years and it is still not solved.
Oh, geez.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's a 4-part miniseries by an investigative reporter who's been covering it, who basically ends with, I think I know who did it. I think the police agree with me. And I can't tell you anything because, of course,
Oh, my God. Really?
Yeah. Yeah, you would think like one of the richest people in Canada being murdered in their home would be solved quicker than this.
What's
But
it airing on up there? Is it on like
It's
cable
on
or
Crave? It's called Crave, which is a.
I've heard of that
Canadian-
for some reason.
I think I've heard of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Canada only station. I have no idea if it's going to get picked up in the States or not.
So
But
is
it's
it?
pretty-
It's obviously currently still a case. Have you followed up on it in the news? Like, have they actually arrested someone for it, or is it still nothing?
No arrests, no
Wow.
nothing. They're just spinning around the bowl, and they think they know who it is, but they clearly don't have enough evidence yet.
From the documentary, do you think you know who
My
it
daughter
could be?
thinks it was one. My daughter thinks it was one of the kids, so I'm going to go with.
Oh,
her.
okay. I was going to ask, did they have like any Menendez kids there
Yeah,
that
right.
might want to like kill their parents for the money?
When billionaires, are killed, the kid. Everybody always looks at.
You
got
got to look to the family and people closest first, I think. Yeah.
Just like the husband's
Yeah.
always the suspect when a woman dies.
Yeah.
Husband's always the first suspect. That's why I'm always I always tell
They had
Michelle, I'm like, if
serious
you're going to
business
die,
people who hated them. It's kind of wild. But the wildest part, though, was that, like I told you, they were in this seated position, both of them, with ligatures around their necks, their hands tied behind them.
Yeah, they're telling a
And
story
for the-
with the way they posed them or something like that. You know what I mean?
And yet, for the first couple of weeks, the cops' theory that they put out there publicly was murder suicide. Think about it for a minute. How the fuck is that possible? How bad are our cops? They spent the first episode trying to explain to us that if they both had their hands tied behind them, it can't be a fucking murder
it
suicide.
sounds like a Simpsons gag. Like he was shot in the chest 7 times. So suicide, huh?
That does sound
Make
very
him away
simple.
twice.
Is Wiggum on the case up there? Maybe the
Yeah,
Simpsons,
pretty
maybe
much
Simpsons
it. Make
take
them
place
away
in Canada.
toys.
Oh, man.
I watched a documentary on Disney called Stan Lee. And if that doesn't tell you everything you need to
I wonder
know,
who that's about.
it is. It's obviously about Stan Lee, creator or not creator of
Stanley,
but
what? What's his last name?
Stanley Tucci. No. About Stan Lee, and it's all about his life. And it came out. I think it came out this year.
Yeah.
And it's not long. It's like
Did
maybe
he
an
did he
hour.
talk to some nice people, good people they talked to, or
Some current people, and they played clips
Kevin Smith, I'm
all
guessing?
through. Yeah, they played clips all through his career, and there's a lot of there's 3 very important Marvel people: Steve Ditko, Jack Kirby, and Stan Lee, and all the tension that arose because who created what? Everybody claims that they created Simpsons. Sorry,
That's graining.
Spider-Man or Fantastic Four, or whoever. But like, there's clips of like Jack Kirby just happened to be on a radio show in the 70s, and Stan Lee called in to like wish him a happy birthday, and then just started like tearing into him, like, so don't be claiming you created.
This is over
Spider-Man
on the radio?
and they're fighting on the radio. It was really good, but I mean, most of it's
and it was like a serious, like he was serious about it.
yeah.
Like,
Most of it's a puff piece. Most of it's just puffy, like how awesome is Stan Lee, but there was a little bit of
P. Diddy Puffy, or
there's a little bit of tension in there, but it's good and it's short. It's one, thank God, one episode, and it's not even that long. It's like an hour and a half.
I just started a documentary. It's just like the first episode. It's 5-part. It's on Netflix. Muscles and Mayhem: An Unauthorized Story of American Gladiators.
Oh,
I'm looking forward to this documentary.
I've heard of that one,
but I didn't know it was going to be a series or a one movie. But it's a 5-part. They're about 45 minutes each. So
did they interview Taser and
they
Laser
got them all. Looks
Taser?
like Titan, Nitro. I've seen Ice, the girl Ice. But I just got in. I'm like 15 minutes into it. And, so it just started. But,
Kevin, did you watch? Was that something up there? You got American Gladiators? Was that something?
Oh yeah. I know. I watch that all the time. Yeah, and I gotta figure they aged about as well as professional wrestlers.
Yes.
I gotta tell you, some of them look
they're all
really
alive.
good. Some of them look really good. Like, and then the one guy was talking about doing cocaine. So
currently,
he's like, "Do you have anybody have any cocaine?" He was like, "I was like, damn,
good for him if he's still doing coke. That's awesome."
You're too good.
Brian, what kind of South Korean nonsense do you bring to the podcast today?
So I haven't finished it, but I'm 14 of 16 episodes in.
And that's since we talked last week.
Yes.
7 days. 7 days ago.
Wow.
The average 2 episodes a day. Yeah.
It's 70-minute episodes.
So over an hour.
Yes.
So 14 episodes.
It's
That's like 20
almost a
hours.
mini movie each episode.
It is. It's very time consuming.
Wow.
It's called
Mother of God.
It's called Startup, and it's about this girl who wants to, figure out what she wants to do with their life.
I notice almost every one of these starts off with "it's a girl," which there's nothing wrong with that.
Well,
But
it's just one's a girl and 2 boys.
Okay.
Are the main characters.
all right.
Devil's Triangle, isn't that what they call it?
Yeah, well, that's what it is. Is that when she was younger, the one boy lived with
Eiffel
her
Tower.
grandmother and wrote her letters.
Eiffel Tower.
I think they call it Devil's Triangle too.
Okay.
Do you want to hear this?
Not really.
I know you
even-
don't,
not even
but I'm
a
going
little
to tell
bit.
you. So the one boy wrote her letters, but he used a fake name that he found in the newspaper. And then 15 years later, she wants to meet him. And she finds the kid that was, in the newspaper. And he doesn't know anything about these letters that this other guy wrote. And bing, bang, bang, bang.
Does not sound interesting at all. I got to be honest with you.
It's actually a pretty good one.
Kev, what do you got?
Which is yada yada.
All right. From that to something I don't know that somebody else has watched. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. 2 episodes into that, I am so into it now.
Andy's jumping up and down over here in case you can't see him.
Maybe because I just stole the one he was going to do.
No,
No,
he's
I
happy.
did
He's
not
happy,
have
yeah.
that. Are you?
No.
You're 2 episodes into season 2 or 1?
2.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just watched season. I watched episode 3 today, actually.
Okay, I'm going to catch up on that. But look, the way they ended the first season, that last episode of the first season that completely redid an episode of the original series.
Yes.
I didn't delete that for 4 months. I left that on my recorder. I said I'm going to watch this again.
Yeah,
and
no,
I did. I watched it 2 more times until that was so good.
Yeah.
I'm never the second episode, which was a trial episode.
Yes.
I'm never great. I know I'm a lawyer. I'm never great with trial episodes. They don't work that well for me.
But this is future law. It's different than what we're going through now.
So the law's going to be
Exactly.
different in the future, right?
It will be, yes.
But no, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It wasn't as good as the best Star Trek trial episode, Measure of a Man.
Well, I was going to say it was definitely a Measure of a Man type episode. And this, the most recent episode that came out today is a time travel episode and has lots of Star Trek time travel kind of Star Trek 4 and City on the Edge of Tomorrow and like all the classic Star Trek stuff where they go back in time. So there's a lot of that going on and it's really well done. You guys aren't Star Trek guys and that's all good, but like
I watched all the Star Treks on Paramount.
see, I don't. I mean, I watched like the first 2 episodes of Discovery and was like, this is definitely not for me. And I never watched Deep Space Nine or Enterprise or
Lower
Stargate?
Decks. You
Wasn't
got to
there
watch
Stargate?
Lower Decks.
Stargate's not related.
I thought there was one that starts.
Lower Decks is important because the two guys from Lower Decks are going to show up in real life.
That's what I heard. There's
on Strange
the
New
cartoon.
Worlds. I've seen it on the previews.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the cartoon. The people that do the voices are going to act as themselves as their cartoon characters on Strange New Worlds.
Oh, wait, isn't one of them Jack Quaid?
Yeah, Jack Quaid.
Oh, he's gonna be on Strange New Worlds.
Oh, nice! I like Jack Quaid.
Like I am.
He was good in a new Scream.
Oh, is he in the new Scream?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm more invested in this version of Star Trek now, this Strange New Worlds, than like if they said tomorrow they're doing another movie with Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto, I'd be like, I don't care.
I think that needs to go away. I think
because I didn't like the second or third movie.
You need to recast that and start new. Start new.
Technically, they already because Strange New Worlds has a Spock and Uhura and a Kirk.
Yeah, so make a movie from that. Yeah. I think that works.
Well, they might. I mean, these guys are young, so they can
grow into
go for a while with them. Yeah, no, I really enjoy Strange New Worlds. Yeah, it's great.
Once I'm done with this Korean show, then I have Silo and Strange New Worlds. So I can watch all of Silo and then start Strange New Worlds.
I'm trying to think now if Silo ended or like I watched Silo.
I think it's gone. I think it's
speaking
done.
of ended. You know how Dana was talking about The Idol last week?
I heard.
Did you hear about it?
Say it. Yeah.
It was supposed to be 6 episodes, and it was the 5th episode's coming up this week, and this is the finale.
Oh, they canceled it.
They canceled it.
Yeah,
and they're not going to show the last episode.
That's the Johnny Depp daughter.
They
the
said
weekend
that
show.
They said that they had to edit it down. I think the 5th and 6th episode they edited it down so much that they didn't have a 6th episode after they edited the 2 together. That's what I'm hearing.
After Dana talked about it, I did download it
just to see the Johnny Depp's daughter parts.
I went to where she's peeking out. just to see it.
Yeah, I think Dana said there was a weird sex scene or something in the 2nd episode.
And she's a yoga hoser.
She was good in Yoga Hosers, yeah.
Oh, she's in Yoga Hosers.
She's in that, yeah, with Kevin Smith's daughter, yeah. But Andy, it's your turn. What do you got?
The only other thing I really have for this week is Champions. And I don't know where I watched that.
It's Champions.
It's Woody Harrelson and Caitlin Olsen, Sweet D from Always Sunny, and Cheech is in it, and there's somebody else in it. Somebody else kind of. Oh, Ernie Hudson.
What's it on?
I forget where I watched it. It's on something. It might be on Max.
It's got to be on something. It's on.
Well, I mean, like I didn't pirate it. It was just on something.
Remember that Seinfeld line? He's like, it's on. It's on. Why is it on TV? It's not yet.
It's not yet. So anyway, Woody Harrelson is a former basketball coach. No, he is a former college basketball coach that gets fired, and his life's spiraling down, drunk driving, do a bunch of years in jail or this many hours of community service with these special needs kids for basketball. So he obviously takes the special needs thing and immediately regrets it. Like he's like, I should have just taken the jail time, but it's a comedy. So it's extremely funny. And some of these kids, man, they are phenomenal actors, and it's very funny.
Are they special needs kids?
Every one of them is.
It's not like The Ringer where there are a couple actors.
No. This is actual factual special need kids, and they're amazing. I was actually talking to Eileen about it at work because Eileen's son is special needs, and she had taken Charles to see it, and she was just saying like, this is all. This she's like, this has been my life for the last like 25 years. Like this is exactly correct, and it's really good. I mean, it's not required viewing. It's fun, and it's
fun watch. Yeah.
Obviously, they're not punching down on anybody, so everything's uplifting.
A feel good movie.
It's a very feel good movie, which is that's rare for me. Like feel good is usually the last thing I want to do.
Speaking of feel good movies, I watched Evil Dead Rise this week.
Wow.
The new Evil Dead movie.
That's very feel good.
With no Bruce Campbell, right?
No Bruce Campbell. I believe Sam Raimi had something to do with it, but I didn't even look into that much.
He didn't direct it, right?
No, it wasn't that good. It was okay. Give it a watch, but it's not like our Evil Dead 2 or Army of Darkness. It wasn't anything like that.
They remade it a couple years ago.
Evil Dead was about 2013, I think, but it was actually really good.
10 years ago.
The remake was decent. I remember the remake.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Decent.
I kind of like that.
But I mean, this was okay. You could have given it a different title. I don't think you needed to give it an Evil Dead.
Is this like in the Ash universe or
Not
not?
to
You know,
me.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't link up.
The girl
or-
picks up like a gun in her hand and everything to make it look like that kind of, you know, you get that, but it's like, it's not. Go ahead, Brian. Tell us what else you watched.
I didn't watch anything else.
I got more if you want me to go again.
What about Kev?
I got nothing.
All right, Jay.
I watched, you know how much I love Mia Goth, my girl from X and Pearl.
Right.
Well, I watched the new Brandon Cronenberg movie, who is David Cronenberg's son.
Okay.
David Cronenberg, you know, he did movies like The Fly, Scanners,
Yeah,
Videodrome.
he's all the
like
body
that kind
horror stuff.
Yeah.
Back when.
So
that
this
was
is
cool.
pretty much horror too. I had Alexander Skarsgård and my girl Mia Goth were the two main people in it. And I'll just give you a quick thing. It says James and M. Foster are enjoying an all-inclusive beach vacation in the fictional island of La Tolca, when a fatal accident exposes the resort's perverse subculture of hedonistic tourism, reckless violence, and surreal horrors. I liked it a lot. It's on Hulu.
Sounds like Michelle's on vacation or a honeymoon.
But yeah, that's really good. I'm in love with Mia Goth.
Is Mia Goth like
so-
the new Scream Queen? Is that
She's
it?
my
She's
Scream
just do
queen.
horrors now?
I don't know if she just does horror or like this is like more like
What's Mia
thriller
Goth
horror.
look like?
Jason's into her, so
I got to pull up a picture for you. I'll pull up a picture
Yeah,
as I'm talking, I guess,
can't
since
pull
you
up
don't
my
know. Yeah, you
phone.
don't have your phone. I watched the second season.
Mia Goth looks a lot like Kevin on.
I watched
oh,
the
look at that.
I watched the second season of
Sexy.
I Think You Should Leave. That was my other thing. Yeah,
Great show.
yeah. I because I wanted to watch the third season, but I was like, oh, I didn't even watch the second season.
Michelle and I actually finished season 2 of From, which I know I've talked about a couple times on here. So season 2 ended on a cliffhanger, but man, that show better get picked up for a third season, because if it gets canceled, I'll be super pissed, because it's a great cliffhanger. Great cliffhanger.
Oh, I have something.
Go ahead.
What's up?
I got just notified by Connor on the drive over here. Warrior Nun was picked back up. It was canceled by Netflix, and there was such a fan uproar. They're bringing it back for the third season.
That just shows you right there, like Netflix's fan base is so small. They're like 17 people complained that this piece of shit got
It
canceled.
was a great show.
No, it was not, dude. I watched some of it. Did I give it 2 episodes? I don't even remember now, but it's not good, man. It's not a good show.
It was really good.
I love it that they bring back. They didn't bring back Arrested Development. They didn't bring back Santa Clarita Diet. They brought back.
But now there's hope for Fate, a Winx saga.
There's Mia Goth.
Oh,
That's my
yeah.
girl.
Sure. She's of the female persuasion.
Yes.
I got it.
You can Google her over there on your end there.
Kevin, do you have Google in Canada?
We're not allowed. We're not allowed. Actually,
It's called.
Sexy
We're
topless
off
from behind.
Google any minute.
This is topless from
They
behind.
have Google.ca.
I was gonna say it's called Google A. Google A.
Google, eh?
I can't wait to discuss Strange Brew with you, Kevin. The documentary of Canada that this movie was.
You know, I saw it in the theaters. I forgot a lot of things. I'm going to say that.
Save it, because right now I want to tell everybody to go to Spreaker, and that's where you can download, rate, subscribe, review, do all those fun things. But download us wherever you get your podcasts. We're the exciting and new podcast on all our social medias. I'm the Jazoo on Instagram, Jazoo74 on Twitter. It's the exciting and new mini podcast. They call me Jason.
AE Gonzo 1 on Twitter, AE Gonzo 1970 on Instagram. I'm Andy.
And I'm Brian, Papa Bad Kitty.
And I'm Kevin.
Who doesn't want to give any of his information out because he's got a professional career and doesn't want to ruin it.
It's that obvious.
He doesn't want to be associated.
Not at all. Some random guy in Canada. That's me.